Good morning, dear students. Today we will proceed our next chapter, that is India, the land of monsoon climate, natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation means the plants that grow naturally without humans' support. India is known as the land of monsoon climate. Now we will discuss about climate of India. Weather and climate. Climate refers to the sum total of weather conditions and variations over a large area for a long period of time, more than 30 years. Weather refers to the state of the atmosphere over an area at any point of time. The elements of weather and climate are the same, that is, temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, and precipitation. The weather conditions fluctuate very often, even within a day. On the basis of the generalized monthly atmospheric condition, the year is divided into seasons such as winter, summer, or rainy season. In South India, the climate is hot and humid. The coastal areas have moderate climate as the oceans modifies the temperature. The desert of Rajasthan is hot during the daytime and cold during the nights. Now, tropical monsoon type. The Himalayan chain of mountains protects India from chilly cold winds blowing from the northern polar regions. The Himalayas thus provide the whole of the northern India warm climatic conditions. Therefore, India is called a land of tropical monsoon climate. The word monsoon is derived from the Arabic word mosim, which means season. Monsoon refers to the seasonal reversal in the wind direction during a year. In Asia, this type of climate is found in the south and the southeast. In summer, the temperature of some parts of Rajasthan desert is 50 degrees Celsius, whereas it may be 20 degrees Celsius in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. On a winter night, temperature at Dras in Jammu and Kashmir may be as low as minus 45 degree. Trivandrum, on the other hand, may have a temperature of 22 degree Celsius. In this map, you can see the different climatic regions of India, which are denoted by different colors. Now, the pressure and wind system of any area depend on the latitude and altitude, means height of the place. Thus, it influences the temperature and rainfall pattern. The sea experts a moderating influence on climate. As the distance from the sea increases, its moderating influence decreases and the people experience extreme weather conditions. This is known as sentimentality. Ocean currents, along with onshore winds, affect the climate on the coastal areas. Any coastal area with warm or cold currents flowing past it will be warmed or cooled if the winds are onshore. Relief too plays a major role in determining the relief rainfall. The weather experts have identified a cycle of four seasons in India, namely, first, the cold weather season, winter, begins from mid November in northern India and stays till February. December and January are the coldest months in the northern India and the temperature decreases from south to the north. The average temperature of Chennai on the east coast is between 24 degree to 25 degrees Celsius, while in the northern plains it ranges between 10 degrees to 15 degrees Celsius. Higher slopes of Himalayas experience snowfall and frost in common in the north. The northeast trade winds prevail over the country and blow from land to sea and are dry winds. Some amount of rainfall occurs on the Tamil Nadu coast from these winds as they blow from sea to land. The weather is marked by clear sky, low temperatures, and low humidity and feeble variable winds. The inflow of cyclonic disturbances from the west and the northwest, these low pressure systems originate over the Mediterranean Sea and Western Asia and move into India along with the westerly flow. They cause winter rain over plains and snowfall in the mountains. The total amount of small rainfall, known as Mahavat, is important of Rabi crops cultivation. No well-defined cold season in the peninsular region due to moderating influence of the sea. Next, the hot weather season, summer. March to May is the hot weather season due to the apparent northward movement of the sun. The global heat belt shifts northward. The highest temperature in March is about 38 degrees Celsius in Deccan Plateau. In peninsular India, temperatures remain lower due to the moderating influence of the oceans. The summer months experience rising temperature and falling air pressure in the northern India. Loo is a strong, gusty, hot, dry winds blowing during the day over the north and northwestern India. In the West Bengal, these storms are known as the Kal Baisakhi. At the end of the summer season, pre-monsoon showers are common in Kerala and Karnataka, which help in the early ripening of the mangoes and are known as mango showers. Next, advancing monsoon rainy season. June to September are the rainy season. By early June, the low pressure condition over the northern plains intensifies and attracts the trade winds of the southern hemisphere. These southeast winds originate over the warm subtropical areas, the southern oceans. They cross the equator and blow in a southwesterly direction, entering the Indian peninsula as the southwest monsoon. These winds bring moisture as they blow over warm oceans. They blow at an average velocity of 30 kilometers per hour. The windward side of the Western Ghats receives very heavy rainfall, more than 250 centimeter. Mawsynram in the southern ranges of the Khasi Hills receives the highest average rainfall in the world. Tendency to have breaks in rainfall, thus it has wet and dry spells. The monsoon rains take place only for a few days at a time. They are interspersed with rainless intervals. These breaks in monsoon are related to the movement of the monsoon trough. The trough and its axis keeps on moving northward or southward. Now retreating monsoon during October-November with the apparent movement of the sun towards the south, the monsoon trough or the low pressure trough over the northern plains becomes weaker. The southeast west monsoon winds weaken and start withdrawing gradually. By the beginning of the October, the monsoon withdraws from the northern plains. The retreat of the monsoon is marked by clear skies and rise in temperature. Due to high temperature and humidity, the weather is rather oppressive during the day. This is known as October heat. The low pressure conditions over northwestern India gets transferred to the Bay of Bengal by Early November, which causes cyclonic depressions in Andaman Sea. These cyclones causes heavy and widespread rain. The thickly populated deltas of the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveris. Now, distribution of rainfall. Parts of western coast and northeastern India receive over about 400 centimeter of rainfall annually. It is less than 60 centimeter in western Rajasthan and parts of Gujarat, Haryana and Punjab. Rainfall is low in the interior of the Deccan Plateau and east of the Tigris. Low precipitation is in Leh in Jammu and Kashmir. The rest of the country receives moderate rainfall. Snowfall is restricted to the Himalayan region. Next, natural vegetation. The natural vegetation is directly affected by the variations in climatic conditions in India. The type of vegetation changes with the change in amount of rainfall and temperature. The natural vegetation in India may be divided into four groups: tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, the thorny forest, the mangrove vegetation, and the mountain vegetation. First, tropical evergreen forest. They are called tropical rainforest. They grow in region of heavy rainfall over 200 centimeter per annum. These are found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the Western Ghats, wet northeastern hilly areas. Mahogany, rosewood, ebony, and bamboo are the typical species of trees found in this region. Next, tropical deciduous forest. They are called typical monsoon forest. They grow in the area where amount of rainfall is between 100 centimeter to 200 centimeter. They are found in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and eastern Maharashtra. Some species of trees also found in these forests like sal, teak, sisam, peepal, sandalwood, and jamun. Now, the thorny forest. They grow in the area where rainfall is scanty and less than 50 centimeter. These are of small size and scattered over a large area. Thorny bushes and cactus plants grow well. The trees, kikar, babul, khair, date palms are found in these forests, and they are found in Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, and western parts of Gujarat. The mangrove vegetation, called tidal vegetations, they grow well in low-lying delta region along the eastern coast of India. Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri are flooded by tidal waves. The tidal vegetation grows in swamps and marshes of salt and fresh waters. Sundari is the important trees. That's why tidal forests of Ganga Delta have been named as Sundarban. Next, the mountain vegetation. Mountain vegetation is found on the mountains at higher altitudes or heights. This kind of vegetation differs according to variation and increase in altitude. As the height increases, the temperature decreases. Thus, the trees at a higher altitude are conical and form the coniferous forest. The coniferous belt is succeeded by the alpine vegetation, which includes small trees, grasses, and mosses. Now, conservation of forest. The importance of forest cannot be underestimated. We depend on forest for our survival, from the air we breathe to the wood reuse. Besides providing habitats for animals and livelihoods for humans, forests also offer watershed protection, prevent soil erosion, and mitigate climate change. Next, wildlife. Wildlife traditionally refers to undomesticated animal species but has come to include all organisms that grow or live wild in an area without being introduced by humans. Wildlife can be found in all ecosystems: deserts, forests, rainforests, plains, grasslands, and other areas, including the most developed urban areas, all have distinct form of wildlife. While the term in popular culture usually refers to animals that are untouched by human factors, most scientists agree that much wildlife is affected by human activities. Now, conservation of wildlife. Many efforts are being made to protect and preserve the endangered species of wildlife. A few species of birds, like the Indian bustard, and a few animals such as tiger and a rhinoceros, are being preserved and protected. Project Tiger, a nationwide campaign to protect tiger, was launched in 1973. At present, in our India, 47 tiger reserves are there. That's all for this chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.